Welcome to Disarranged 1775, your number one live talk show.
I knew you were going to be doing something like that.
I don't really know what else to do. I'm just like sitting here waiting. I'm like, should I try to take sips of something? I try to do something different. But
hey, bud, just go with it. Whatever you think is a good thing to do, go with it.
Unbelievable. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I've had a challenging week.
Yeah.
But it's all's good. We're gonna keep moving forward. We've got a great show planned tonight. Episode 17?
17, my friend. Yes.
There you go, buddy. It's rock and roll time. So, any new updates with you?
No, just the same old, man.
Yeah.
Just grinding away. Same old.
Plugging away at those spreadsheets, saving money.
Yeah. I showed you a picture of.
I honestly don't know how you do it.
My computer screens literally look like the Matrix. They're just black and green with numbers everywhere, and it's.
You save money for car parts for the American working man. That's who I am, and that's who I care about.
Right.
Shout out, Chris Farley.
Yes.
So yeah, pal. Let's hop into it. I'm excited. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors, shall we?
Yes. Tonight's show is brought to you by Sunny May Cleaners in Baltimore, Maryland. You can give Bella Wiley a call at 443-939-4578, or you can send an email to her at info@sunnymaycleaners.com, or you can go on their website and inquire. It is sunnymaycleaners.com. We are also sponsored by Neptune's Plumbing and Heating in Baltimore, Maryland. Neptune's is owned and operated by Dan Godecki. He is a third-generation master plumber. He specializes in wells, water treatment, drain cleaning, and boilers, if I can talk tonight, for the residential and light commercial services. No job is too big. No job is too small. Give Dan a call at 410-776-5864. And last but not least, we are sponsored also by our great friend, Pastor Reed, over at Simplified Chicken and Ribs. We spoke many times on Simplified Chicken and Ribs. It is a veteran-owned and operated service, and it serves fine soul food, cuisine, and desserts. It's award-winning. As a matter of fact, I think he was down in Florida and got a couple awards this past week. And you can follow him, Pastor Reed, and Simplified Chicken. You can look him up on Disarranged, at Disarranged on any of our platforms. You'll find all the information you need.
Awesome, buddy. Dude, you're getting really good at that.
Oh, come on, dude.
Just want to give a little bit of love.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Well, yeah. I'm glad you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for joining me again for another week of Disarranged activity. I'm excited to talk about our guest today. We've had some good conversations with her, Miss Kimberly. I've been introduced between you and Major Callahan, and I'm excited to have our first female service woman on our show. And yeah.
I'm super excited about it too. Before we get into our awesome guest, we're going to try to touch on a topic or two of current events that are going on.
That's right.
And discuss them a little bit. I found this interesting. As you know, I'm a sports fan. I don't even listen to music at sports radio every morning, all that stuff. Right. I know I live in a rough city to be a sports fan, but so I came across. So there's an NBA basketball player named Kyrie Irving, right? He plays for the Brooklyn.
I mean, I know the name.
He played with LeBron James. He plays for the Brooklyn Nets now. He is unvaccinated. And he actually decided to be unvaccinated, even if it meant sitting out the whole season. Okay. So recently, vaccination policies have loosened up. A lot of states have taken off their mandatory indoor mask policy and all that stuff. Okay. So I'm watching Sports Center the other night, and he's sitting there in the front row without a mask at home, but he's not allowed to play in the game. So I'm like, okay, this is crazy, right? Like, what's going on?
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah, go ahead.
So he's being suspended.
He's not suspended. It's just it's New York. It's a New York mandate, right?
Okay.
That they had no masks, or they had masks indoors. Okay.
Okay.
But this is, I'll read you a couple quotes from their mayor. Their mayor
Yeah.
is Eric Adams.
Okay.
All right. So they took away the restrictions on March 7th for indoor public spaces, i.e., restaurants, bars, nightclubs, gyms, movie theaters, concert venues, museums, and arenas. But this this mayor, so when asked why Kyrie Irving can't play, he came up with this answer and said, "Well, we're still worried about the great populace and of COVID coming back
Right.
and it's spreading and all this stuff." And he's literally sitting next to his teammates on the bench.
So
Dude, it's the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my life. I understand, like, if you have the policy, right, and he's not vaccinated, great, right? But you have everybody. Oh, here goes Bruno. You have everybody in the stadium, or not everybody, but you have people in the stadium that aren't vaccinated, that are sitting next to each other, right? You have him sitting next to all the players. He's unvaccinated. I don't even know if you can hear me.
yeah, I got you. You're good, buddy.
But he's not allowed to play basketball.
I think my opinion on this whole thing in large is just the hypocrisy, if that's a word, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Of everything that's been going on with this, and just people turning a blind eye to just regular things. It blows my mind. And things like this, now it's obviously a trending topic out there, and it's making a bunch of people probably look like idiots, right?
Well, the mayor especially, right? Because what logical answer can you come up with? So if he gets on the court and interacts in a game in New York, he sees it as a risk to spread COVID in New York. But if he's in the arena with no mask, it's just the most asinine thing I've ever heard of. I don't know who voted for him, and God bless him that he's the mayor, but that's rough, man.
Well, it's just dumb. Like,
someone in his camp's got to be saying, like, dude, this is the dumbest shit in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So
looks like let us know what you guys think in the comments. We are curious to know what you guys think. What are the rules and regulations where you guys are tuning in from? Are things getting a little bit looser? Are they a little bit lighter?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're lifted in Michigan here, right? So, well, first of all, when they had the mandate policy, they told you had to wear a mask if you're unvaccinated, right?
Yep.
But they can't have you show proof of vaccination because it's HIPAA violation, right? You know what that means?
Yes, I know what HIPAA violation.
I'm just asking, buddy. That's
I do. Yes.
Okay, so you can walk in even when there's a mandate. You can walk in without a mask. You know what I mean? It's just the whole thing. It just none of it made. I understand that the concept behind it and all that stuff. It's just weird, man.
Yeah.
But
I'm ready for things to get back to normal. I'm ready. I understand if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask.
Yeah, I mean, but the Kyrie Irving thing just blows my mind. I mean, it's like, I don't get it, dude. So
I want the kids to be able to not have the masks on, go outside and play, and have a normal chance of rebounding from 2 years of mental torture. I mean, I couldn't imagine being a kid playing outside and being forced to wear a mask and like not really truly understanding it, or learning how to communicate with something covering your mouth. Where I don't know. I feel bad for the kids, and that's to my mom's point. My nephew, shout out Bryson, big B man. He's he doesn't like wearing those things, man. He shouldn't have to wear.
No, yeah, no one does. I mean, but yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. So hopefully sooner rather than later, we will. Looks like we're starting to trend towards going back to normalcy.
Yeah, I think so too. But you should keep me updated, man. I'm actually curious to see how that pans out. You're more in the sports realm of things, but yeah, about the trending topics, we're looking to bring those to the table, give you guys our opinion on them, and move on from them, right, buddy?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was interesting. It stood out to me. I'm like, okay, I gotta bring this up.
Well, it is interesting because I'm curious to see how the rest of the media plays it out, and if it becomes a bigger thing. And I'm going to try to follow it and see if it's trending on Twitter after the show.
Yeah.
And then we'll provide updates for everybody. But right now, we want to get our guest in here, Miss Kimberly Huerta. She's a good friend of yours. I was introduced through the good old Marine Corps system, and I'm anxious to get her on and hear a little bit about her service as a female, a little bit of her background, to where she comes from, the who, what, why, where, when.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we'd like to introduce Miss Kimberly Huerta.
Hey, Kim.
Oh.
Welcome.
Oh. Well, stand by. We've got a muted mic for whatever reason.
Oh, okay.
There you are. Hey. Hi.
Hello. What's going on, guys? Hey.
Thanks for coming on, Kim. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. The first question I want to ask is, how do you know this guy?
This guy? Wait.
Yeah.
This guy?
There you go.
Yeah, I used to work with him at 271 comm platoon. So like he was radio and I was what was called a 0612 field wireman at that point. They don't have that. Yeah, wire dog. So like that's how we met, because I got into the unit and then he was there. So I think, were you platoon sergeant when I first got there? I don't even remember, honestly.
I don't remember. Maybe.
No, Staff Sergeant Scott was. My bad.
Okay.
He was, before you. But yeah, so we worked together for like what, 2 years, almost 3 years. Yeah, probably the whole time I was there. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you could fill in our guest and give us a little bit of background of who you are, where you come from, a little bit about your upbringing. We'll start there.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, and born and raised. So go Cowboys. I have to.
Oh my God.
I have to. I'm sorry, dude. That is America's team. Okay, anyways. So it's America's team. Got to do it. Anyways. And I'm from Texas. How can I not? So
I'm gonna zip it. This is your interview. Yeah. Now I'm looking at the comments, so go ahead.
We're done. We're over. Yeah. They're going down. Viewers are leaving. No, I'm just kidding. But so yeah, I'm from Dallas, and then just a little bit about like my upbringing and stuff. So I'm Hispanic. I'm from a Hispanic background and like super religious. I won't get too into it, but like, so yeah, I was very like, I mean, I was already coming from like kind of a military background because they're Christians. I'm a Christian. I don't know. Like, it's just a big mess, but it's a big mess, but like, I just have my own beliefs about things and stuff. So like, that was kind of hard growing up into that, and like being a girl or a woman and then wanting to like join the Marine Corps, tons of issues with that. Like, why are you doing it? So it was, like I said, my upbringing was rough, but like I never always thought the Marine Corps. So
you never really you never thought in the back of your mind that military is my route. This is kind of where I'm gonna go. No, not
at all. So like the only time I thought about doing that was right before like I joined. So it was about like it was about a year after I graduated. I was going to like community college for a while, but I wasn't really like there. I felt like I was just, honestly, like I hope everybody has felt this way, because I feel like we just don't talk about it, but like we were just in a spiral. You get out of high school and then you just go to college and you're just doing stuff because everybody's like, yeah, you have to go to college to get a job. And
right.
So I was just kind of like following the norm, and then like I would go to classes and then I'd start skipping and going like to friends and hanging out, because like since I had a not rough, but a very like shielded childhood and stuff. So it really wanted, like, it grasped my attention to like do this because it's like be all you can be, like in the Marines. And like my cousin was in it, and then like my uncle was in the army, so like I was just kind of getting their insights about it, what they felt, and they're like, you get free college, and like, so that's kind of like what got me into it. And then plus, I'm sorry, those advertisements, the Marines, like the few, the proud, the Marines, like all those, like, dude, I wanted to do that shit, honestly. Like I wanted to go after I saw those commercials, like I wanted to do that stuff, like, and be out there and in the front lines, but I didn't even know what the hell that meant. So like, yeah, I was
So,
ahead of myself.
so you talked a little bit about you like the commercials. Was that the only reason why you joined the Marine Corps? Because it can be intimidating, right? I mean, if you're looking at all the branches, the Marine Corps obviously is the best. And it's the toughest, and it's the most elite, and has the highest standards. And it has by far the fewest percentage of women. So were those factors played in your decision making? Like when you went and talked to a recruiter, did you see other female police there? I mean,
So when I went, and why the Marines, like for me, is because like honestly, like I wanted to, dude, it sounds so cliche, I promise, but like I really wanted to challenge myself. And I was like, everybody else gets into like all the other ones. And like I did do like research, but didn't know really what I was looking at. You know, you can just look something up and you're like, okay, cool, information. Like it's not really processing. So it's just like, okay, like army, this, that. But like, I don't know. Like I felt like I needed to, honestly, like one of the things that I felt is just like something like deep down inside, like I wanted to just get out there and do it because I knew I could. And I just wanted to honestly prove to myself like that I could do this. This is something I could do. I'm not cut out for like a regular 9-to-5 job out here. Like I want to honestly. And then I thought about serving my country. Like, dude, like when the Star Spangled Banner comes on and stuff like that, like I am patriotic. I love that shit. And like, I'm all about it. And like, I did want to make that difference as well as a female Marine. Like I wanted to make it a career, but we'll get into that a little bit more later, why I did it and stuff. So yeah.
So you clearly being a female and hopping into an organization that's 82% male, can you touch on your ability to be able to adapt to said environment as a female? And if you had any, internal battles while handling that, like listening to a lot of locker room talk, if you want to say, or banter back and forth. I know on the guy side, there was a lot of that. We were on ground combat, though. We didn't have to interact with females. So can you touch on that?
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know what anybody's going to tell you, but I just feel like if I'm going to be honest on the show, I'm going to. So like, it was super hard to adapt to males because not the fact of what they said, what they talked about being around there, but it's the fact of like that power, that intensity over like women. Because I feel like a lot of men are just like taught and trained to hate the female for certain reasons, whatever those reasons are. So once you're bringing now females that, what is it, 8% into the mix, it's really difficult to mesh that because now you have, okay, well, my staff is a male and I'm a female. So we have different views on things and how we perceive each other and how we view each other, like all those things. So it clashes. It really does. So it was difficult. I'm not going to lie. And like handling that like background talk and stuff like that. Honestly, I was okay with it because I didn't give a shit. Like, I'm sorry. I just didn't. I didn't care about what others were saying for me because I was just so intense, so in the moment. So going through things that like that was my focus, and like whatever else came, I was like, okay, great. I've heard that. I've heard that. I've heard that. Like I kind of just like bypassed everything, was just like, cool, out the window. This is what I want to do. This, like, I never had a car. Like that was when I got in the Marine Corps the first time I pulled out a vehicle. So like I was so focused on me and like
Cool.
Yeah.
Self-improvement and all that sort of thing. That's awesome.
for sure.
So I want to preface your comment when you said like you're talking about like male Marines, their views on female Marines. Like like pretty much you're taught and hate the female Marine. Is that what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. So in military terms and what I've heard and like you're just taught that. And I feel like a little side comment is like I feel like you hate the female Marine and the male hates the female Marine until we get out, go our separate ways and realize that the Marine Corps like really affected how we viewed people, how we saw people, because we held them to standards like we do. That's just what it is. Let's just be honest. We held them to higher standards and we would judge them off the bat, like, because that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be attention to detail. And you see something, I'll just say it nicer, messed up. You see something messed up, you're going to correct it. You're going to correct that subordinate or that leader, honestly, and say, hey, pull them aside. Like, I don't think this is right. That's how we handled things. So that's why, like, it is hard to be friends with that opposite sex. And also that locker room talk rises once you have opposite sex friends, vice versa, males too. Like, don't get me wrong. I've heard so many stories and friends, like I said, that have shared with me. I won't share any or their names, but like that have told me from a male perspective what they've been through. It's not just females. It is not. And like, that's something I do want to bring to the table too, is that, yeah, we look at that 8% of women and stuff, but imagine that big percent of male, like testosterone stuff going on, like things are bound to happen, like whether that's good or bad, like, but don't know where I was. Yeah. Locker room talk. So like, it's hard. It really is hard for a woman because like, it just is. We think more, we have more emotions. We really think things through. It's just what it is. It's scientifically proven. We're just two different types of people.
Yeah. But I mean, so did you feel like in the process of integrating in the unit and stuff like that, did you just feel pressure being a female Marine, even like just doing PT or your expectations, like every day, just everything? Did you feel the difference in that?
Every single day I walked into that office, like that's why I had my bun on point, my cover, my uniform, because I feel like you are looked at more than the male Marine because of our standards, because our standards are lower. So now you're holding females to a lower standard, but we want that standard to be perfect. So and it's hard because of our physical. We don't have the same standards in PT. So yeah, you are looked at differently. I'm not going to say I'm the only female Marine. What I recall and what I remember is what I'm going to say. So I don't I don't want to make any other female Marine this small if they were in my unit or anything. But like, I felt like I kept up with the guys all the time because I pushed myself. Like I really, I mean, hopefully Sergeant Gardner at that time could like say, yeah, like I agree. She kept up, with us. And like, that first, actually, I'm not going to lie, the first like week or two that I first checked into my unit, I was absolutely overweight coming from comm school. One time I was on BCP, never again, dude. You can look at my record. Never again after that. I was like, this is not about it. And that was the other thing. Like, there was a lot of females in BCP. There really was. So like, I didn't want to be that percentage, dude, that was like, first of all, she's a female. Second of all, she can't run. Second of all, she can't do pull-ups. Like I started doing pull-ups before, or trying to before it came out, things like that. I PT'd every day. So, but yeah.
Did it go ahead. Yeah, Matt.
No, just to expand that, like what were the challenges with I mean, you could even bring me up, that's fine, but what were the challenges with male leaders being a female? Because I'll tell you, my most difficult challenge in the Marine Corps was not going to Afghanistan or doing being in ground combat units. It was being a leader of female Marines and learning how to, especially coming from the ground side. I don't think I ever really mastered it, and it bothered me. It was hard. So
Yeah. So, like, what was the question? Sorry.
so yeah, no, I'm sorry. What were some of the challenges or difficulties with dealing with your male leaders? Were they everybody different, or did you have struggles, or can you give us some
Any like
examples?
do you have any trust issues? I
Yeah.
guess.
Absolutely. We'll say I did have lots of trust issues just because, like, okay, so because of locker room talk before, like, anything ever gets done and stuff, it's hard because now you have this perspective of what they think you are. Like, now you have an idea of what they believe you are, what they see you as, and now it's kind of hard. You clash because you do have those. Okay, so now you know nothing and you hear things. So now I'm trying to, like, be a leader now. So this person, you're just going back and forth bickering because now it's like they don't have, like, for example, it's just like on paper, I was a stellar Marine. Like, it is what it is. Whatever I planned to do on the weekends, whatever I did, off duty, and was nobody's fucking business. It really wasn't. And so, like, a lot of people would get upset with that. A lot of the male Marines would get upset with that. And, like, honestly, when you have, like, subordinates, they're usually younger. Like, if you're a leader, you've been in the Corps longer and stuff like that, you're seasoned, let's say that.
Right.
And when I say seasoned, I'm talking about family, I'm talking
Yeah.
about relationships, I'm talking about different units. So you get disgruntled in between those because
Sure.
of
Yeah.
traumatic events. That's deployment too. When I say, like, times like that, deployment's another one. All these things you take, it's like you just have, like, this, I like to put it in fucking visual, like, perspective. You have this sack, like, let's say you have an LB pack, and you just continue to put bullshit in there from every unit, from every
Right.
whatever relationship. So it gets rough. And then, like I said, once they're about their way out, the staff, or about to be officers, changing, whatever, like, all that transitioning, like, you bump with your coworkers, you really do. And it's hard because now it's like, okay, you categorize these Marines as those Marines in your other unit where they used to do this, stuff that you didn't like, or that, or you remind me of this buddy, like,
Yeah. You get all these preconceived notions about people, and yeah, you're right. If everybody kind of the stereotype is like there's always that one lance corporal with his hands in his pockets, right? No matter what unit you go to, and by God, usually there was. So
yeah.
and then you know there was the stereotype with female Marines. I mean, let's be honest about it. It was, we talked about it in our pre-interview. It was when a female Marine came on deck. It was, how long before she is on light duty or how long before she is pregnant, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually what was talked about as soon as a female Marine checks in. And so I can't imagine the other side of it coming in with that.
Kim, with everything that kind of explained in like a quick overview of your service, even with the hard times and the good times, I guess the overall, is there any regrets that you have, and would you do it again?
Yes and yes. So I would do it again. Absolutely. I would have started earlier instead of when I was 20. Instead of, like, yeah, I would have definitely done it as soon as I was 17, 18, able to go. Absolutely. And then hearing that from, like, all, like, because small little part of me, have gone through a lot of things, lots of trauma, lots of things, but I would go back and do it again because with the knowledge you have now as this person, absolutely, I'd go back and do it
Yeah.
again the right way. And with all that knowledge and stuff, because, like, I'm not young, I'm 31, and I have to make that clear because a lot of people see me and they're like, young.
You're young. You're still young. 31's young.
Match this.
And like, I would definitely go back and do things differently. Any regrets? I used to have no regrets, but now I have all the regrets. So, like, I would have gone when I asked my master sergeant at that time, I would have asked, to go on those missions, those women missions. I forget what they're called. not the lioness mission. I forget what they're called.
I
There's
can't
something.
remember. I want to say fem teams.
Those, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember like 2 females or like 1 female that actually did it, but then something happened. I don't know. She had to return early, got hurt, something like that. But anyways, so when he told me to jump, I should have jumped. I should have listened to my leader, because my master was legit. He was there for your interest, and he was willing to do anything and everything for his Marines, especially when they're in need. Like, and he didn't even know me at the time, but when he talked to me and spoke to me, he said things about me that like he didn't even have to sit down and listen, like talk to me. He already knew like the type of person I was, the type of Marine I was, just by listening to a few things that I would tell him. Mm-hmm. So I had a really good male leadership. I really did. And if I could say, I mean, Patrick Callahan, he was the best leader. And I don't mean to put him up there, but because like of the things that he said to us, and like it did stick. I know sometimes it's a job for some Marines, but like just a 9-to-5 job. And I get that, but like, that's not what the military is about. We're about hard chargers, people who are willing to, you know, react and do things then and there. And like, he was about that. And I think he was actually, wasn't he solid blacks before going into?
Yeah, he was a Mustang. So he was, 0311 sergeant before he transferred over to officer.
So for sure he had that like knowledge, that like he had his foot in and out the door, if you want to say it like that. He was able to understand his Marines, but then stand there and be like super professional about it, because what is that thing called? Officers and staff and ZOs and all that stuff. God, I can't think of that word. You can't like be friends and stuff.
Fraternization.
Fraternization.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm out of the Marine Corps. Fuck fraternization. Like, I hate that word. That word is stupid, but it's the Marine Corps. So what do we have to do? We abide by the rules, right? Within whatever we feel, right? But there's just like, he had that knowledge. Like I said, he could be that officer. He could be that friend. He could be that dad. That when I say dad, like speaking to another, you know, Marine that needed help with his family, you know, he could be that dad. And
have you spoke to Patrick since you've been out?
One time, and that was because I was going to become an officer. I think like a few months, 6 months after I got out of the Marine Corps in 2015, I put in my packet, got to the very end, and that's the last time I like talked to him, because he wrote up a.
Do you mind? Do you mind if I do something for you?
No, yeah, I don't mind.
Stand by. Good evening, sir. Is this Mr. Callahan?
Sure is.
Mr. Callahan, this is Andrew Turner and Matthew Gardner with Disarrange 1775. How are you?
I'm living the dream, War Pigs. How are we?
Dude, I love it. I love to hear it.
How are you, sir?
We have Miss Kimberly Huerta on the show this evening, and I wanted to give you the floor and say hello and give a good buddy check.
Yeah, I was listening. She's in there embarrassing me. I'm gonna have to live up to all the nice things she just said.
Well,
how you doing, Kim?
I'm doing pretty okay. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just still chugging along, hooking and jabbing over here at the Com Company, 2nd LSB, 2nd MLG.
There it is.
Where's that at? Is that East Coast?
That's Camp Lejeune.
Nice. Well, good on you. Still doing it. Still working for the man. So that's good.
You there, sir? Okay.
Matt, you want to say something, pal? Or?
No, I think I cut him off. Did he say something?
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, he did.
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Asking how we were doing. I heard the conversation. I actually made a comment. I was curious, Kim. Do you think that a change in the Marine Corps standards, like making a single standard that is an average of the 2 performances, would remove some of that rift between the two sexes. Because I'm with you. I still notice it to this day and try to knock that barrier down and train my young leaders to look beyond someone's sex and see just a Marine. But it's difficult, right? So what's your take on that? Like a single standard, single uniform, single PT, all of it?
I think honestly that would be great. Like still holding both to that standard where it can be almost equal. Like, but I just feel like if they do that, it's going to lose a lot of that intensity, a lot of like, I in the male part, and as much like, dude, I really like to talk about this stuff, but even though I'm a female, I'm going to give the better half to the male. I really am, because again, scientifically proven, our bodies are not the same. And it's just, males are always going to be stronger. I just feel like there's going to be those certain percentages. So I just don't feel like that would be okay. But within the whole Marine Corps, looking at the bigger picture, right? And if we're going to talk technical and for real, yes, that would be good to do, is to put that standard where it's just above the females, just below the males, and have that so that, you know, they could integrate it more. But personally, what I just said is just like, I feel like the male is always going to be the leader, because like I said, we think too much into things, which is good. It's great for things in this world, but in those moments where it's intensity, it's down to it. And the way the males talk to the males in combat and I know it's a different side. I know it is. So it is going to cause a lot of chaos at the same time. Yeah, I'm so biased, I guess you can say, about it, but for sure.
Cool.
Yeah,
I like that perspective, though. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, sir, is there any updates in your life? When's the retirement ceremony?
So I'm about a year out from the effective retirement date. It's June of 2023.
Cool.
So with terminal, PTAD, and maybe a skill bridge sometime next January, February. But until that date hits, man, I'm gas pedal on the right. We've got Comex coming up here. We're throwing some grenades in the next couple of weeks. We got land nav a week after that, a reg fex where we're going to take, about 500 Marines out to the field, set up comm and do basic provisional infantry stuff, even though we're not infantry, because let's be honest, when we fight a pure adversary like Russia or China, nobody's wiping the Pogue's ass. You got to secure your own participation. So we just got done doing a day-night shoot with MVGs and lasers, which a lot of these guys have not done since MTP, if they did it then. So I'm going to fill that schedule until the day they write me off. I'm trying to train these warfighters, so when I'm gone, I know the torch is in good hands.
Dude, that's awesome, sir.
I would expect nothing less.
Yeah, nothing less from what I've learned. No, that's awesome, sir. Listen, we appreciate you taking the call. Please save this number anytime that we're live on here, sir. You wanna give us a ring ding, open door policy with you, and we appreciate you.
Oh, that's a dangerous offer, but I might.
Anytime.
I
you
like
have
to talk. I got a bunch of shit to say.
All right, cool. Well, we have a bunch of time for you, sir. We appreciate you, man.
Semper Fidelis. Hey, Kim,
Yeah,
it's great hearing from you. You reach out anytime you need anything, warfighter.
You too. Thank you so much, sir.
Hurrah. Thanks, guys.
Semper Fi.
Yep. Thanks, sir.
There you go. See, now we just went from 2015 to 2022, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's a blast from the past. Yeah, and I haven't spoken to him since, so that was an honor to have him on and like hear him again too. Cause like, dude, you do miss that stuff. Like I'm such a wuss now for everything. I get so emotional when I used to not be. Everything will make me break down. Even like something like this, I'm trying to keep it real for the camera, but like, yeah, dude, hearing like dude, you grow up with these people so much. Like I said, the camaraderie and stuff, and just like, you just start remembering fried stories, just things that just happen, and you're just like, holy, like shit. I went through it with these folks, like these people out in the field. Like I watched them, they had dirt all over their face. Like, you know what I mean? Like I slept near them, not like that, but slept near them. You eat with them, you chat with them. Like it's Yeah, it's a whole, like, you can see my like whole aura to changes. Like, I am so about talking about it because of that. It's just the camaraderie you miss. Like, you can come together just like this, and it's like you have that separation in between, that 10 years, that whatever many years just disappears.
Right. Well,
It's
I'm
the it's
so happy that we were able to provide that connection for you, Kim. We appreciate you coming on tonight. We look forward to more adventures with Miss Kimberly and Disarranged. Right,
yeah.
Matt?
Before you go, I got a question for you. If you're able to speak, or if there is any female Marines or female service members that are here now or going to watch this in the future, what would be your message to them in dealing with dealing with the service or the Marine Corps in general, if you'd like?
Yeah, sorry, it's just funny. So
We're still here. Keep going.
okay, yeah, I was like rolling the car, like, dude, now it's like, okay, so what I think is, like, first of all, when you're going in, like, think about what you really want to do as a job. Study for the ASVAB. I didn't, just so we know. Most people didn't really study. Like, let's just be honest. But, like, study for your ASVAB. Like, if you want to get out there and travel. Dude, that was my whole point. Travel the world. Like, I know I traveled a lot during a different time of the Marine Corps. That is one of my regret too. It's like, stop going home. Like, I'm sorry, family members, you're gonna hate me so bad. Stop going home. Like, there's a bigger world out there than just hometown bullcrap going. It's great, but like, if you're in the Marine Corps, take advantage of it. It's 4 years of your life. Right. Travel the fucking world. Like, I've been to over 12 countries on, like, thank God. That's a blessing that I was able to travel for like 2-3 years straight while I was in Okinawa, Japan. Went to all the European countries, and then went to like Bangkok, wow, South Korea. Wow. Backpack through Europe, and like for 27 days, like so many times within those years. Like, yeah, it was amazing. So if you have the money, travel. I just recommend that. If you're already in the suck, like 2 weeks at home, you got your whole life to go back home, you know, to do things. Go travel the world and see things, because like, we live in such a small, like, in our heads most of the time, especially us military members, especially during those hard times. It's hard to get out of those.
100%.
So instead of going back home to that mess, to those family members that do get overwhelming, I'm sorry, but the love can get overwhelming for us because of what we've been through. Right. Travel. Go find yourself. That's the one thing too, because if you are struggling in the Marine Corps, especially for women, to find yourself, that's the time that you should do it. And be selfish. The Marine Corps is always going to be there. Like, if you're in it, it's always going to be there. You're always going to get that paycheck. So take advantage, not like in a mean and like, but take advantage. Take advantage of the Marine Corps. They have programs, TA, right? Tuition assistance, where you can actually go to school for free instead of using your like GI Bill. Like, travel, go explore, see people, culture. It'll change your life. It really will. You'll see that, like, it's not just us. Like, there's something a whole lot bigger out there than just yourself. And then you find yourself. So, like, yeah.
That's an awesome perspective, Kim. Yep. Thank you very much for sharing. We look forward to seeing more from you and hearing more from you. And it's been great meeting you thus far. And I'm excited to roll out some projects together.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that you guys are doing this podcast. I want everybody to know that, because, like, I do look forward to these. So it was really, like I said, an honor to get on, even with our like live stuff going on. Like, this, and that's another thing I wanted to leave with real quick, is like, it's not always rainbows. It's not always, this is not Kim 24/7. This is Kim when she's excited and gets to talk to people and, you know, things like that. But there's still that part where we struggle by ourselves, closed, you know, behind doors when there's nobody there. Reach out. That's my whole thing. Reach out. Don't think, oh, it's been so many years, this person's going to think I'm weird. Probably not. I promise you. They're going to be like, oh, shit, they hit me up. But nobody's ever a burden. So
we're always here. We're always here for you.
That's awesome.
But yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. We love you.
Love you
Take care,
guys.
Kim.
Dude, what a rock star, huh?
Yeah, she's that brought back a lot of memories listening to her talk, tell her story. But her being a Marine, she was a kick-ass Marine. And it's just interesting because you look at somebody and I could see her focus. She was always she seemed really, like she said, like nose to the grind, hardcore.
Yeah, she was dialed in, man, and it's
Yeah,
awesome.
very, very, very dialed in. So you just don't know what's going on, just like with anybody, you don't know what's going on, the struggles they're going through.
Right. Well, I'm happy you brought her to the table, man. She's awesome. Everybody, appreciate you really just hanging out with us. We've had a good crowd tonight. I hope we provided some value to everybody. Matt, before we close off, buddy, you got any closing words, any arguments?
No. Well, your mom asked a question and we didn't get to it. She asked, didn't she have to go through the same basic training and get pinned along with men? And I did hear a few years back that they integrated boot camp. I don't think that happened. I don't see how they would do that.
It's integrated, but yes, they have their own standards, but they're different platoons. I don't know if it's integrated, but yes.
So what she was talking about with the standards is there's physical fitness tests that every Marine has to perform annually, and the female standards are lower than the male standards. So
good question, Mom. Thank you. Yeah, pal. Well, listen, everybody, this is episode 17. I'm your host, Andrew Turner. This is Matthew Gardner. If you follow us on social media, please like and share. The big buzzword is algorithms. Algorithms. Please, a little quick tap, a little share goes a long way for us in our quest to be the #1 live supportive network. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. And until next week, keep it classy, keep it moving, 30-inch steps. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Take care. Have a good week.
Welcome to Disarrange 1775, your #1 live talk show.